I am live for the Monday thing. Sorry for being a minute late. Um, just getting things in order a little bit. Waiting for my friend Chrissy now. Hi, Kiki. And then, luckily, um, it's family and friends right now. Finn's on too. That's awesome. And Dr. Swati, I'm sure she's got tips too. Pretty excited. Everyone I love is on here. Okay, I am getting ready. We're gonna paint with ja. Ja. The Gujarati way we say ja, but jai. And I'm gonna play it. Oh! That's awesome, Finn. Tell her I said hi. Pretty weird when I'm live, like her name is blanking on me. Kitson! I remembered! Okay, let me find my friend. Chrissy! Here she is. Okay. Chrissy. Why does it say unable to join for Chrissy? Chrissy, do you want to try to request being in my live? It's like, come on, Instagram. If you guys could hang on for a second. Okay. Let's see. I hope you guys got whatever art supplies you have. You don't have to have tea to paint with. I don't even know if it's gonna work. We're all doing an experiment together. And let me see what's happening. Oh yes, she sent me a request. Yes, yay! Okay, waiting. Oh, Zoe and MJ are here too. That's wonderful. Tell them I said hi. Hi, Chrissy.
Hi, I was just trying to do it for my computer today, and apparently that's not going to work.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't think Insta likes the computer. I wish
Yep,
they
that's
did.
too bad.
Yeah, I tried once too, and it's like you can, but there's a bunch of shady things and like affiliated with um other countries and things. So, yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm just going to hook up my phone so it's set and stationary, and we'll get going then.
Awesome. That sounds nice. I am gonna figure out my phone situation too. Thank you guys for being so understanding.
There we go. I'm just hoping everybody can hear me. That was a
Yeah.
problem last week, which was why I was going to try doing it through my computer.
Oh.
Okay, though.
Yeah, it's all good. I hear you. I heard you last time too, but
Okay.
okay.
Hi, Jackson.
Yeah, if you could say hi to everybody while I figure my stuff out, that would be great. I'm so proud of myself because I could have used swear words instead of saying stuff, but I didn't.
You were good.
Yeah, I was being aware. Oops. All right, am I still around? Because I pressed something.
You're still there.
Okay, awesome.
All right.
Okay, cool. So, Sal Mubarak, that means Happy New Year, and the other day was Diwali. And I'm not sure if you guys had a chance to see Chrissy, her Instagram chef to order, where she made a really lovely chai tea. And so, where'd you learn how to make it?
So I've loved chai for a long time, but I didn't have really good quality stuff. And I was working as the executive chef on a Bollywood film, and they came on my truck and they cooked really authentic chai on my truck, and it was delicious. And they thought we were gonna have like little tiny cups for people, but we had the big one, which was much better because I like to drink all the chai.
That's awesome. That is really cool. I feel like not that many brown people have cool of a story with the authentic chai aspect of things.
Yeah.
And like, um, but yeah, so I'll tell you, I'll give you a heads up and a warning. I'm a little spacey tonight. So good thing we wrote notes. I figured you're prepared this time, right?
I am. I am
Right?
prepared.
Phew.
Yes.
That's what I figured so I'm like, we don't have to worry.
Yeah.
Um,
No, we're good. We're good. So we're gonna have our fun Monday night chat.
okay, this is
So,
just a Monday night chat, everybody. And it's because it's a new year, it's always a great time to introspect and reflect about um, all the things. And Chrissy, not only is she a very talented chef, she's also becoming certified as a health coach. And so every week, and we became better friends during quarantine, especially when COVID started. And so every week, like Tuesdays and Thursdays, we chit chat because we're collaborating on another thing that we'll tell you guys another time. But um,
it's exciting. We can't wait to share.
yeah, we can't wait to share. It's so true. And
Yes.
and like these chats that we have are so helpful that we both found it that we're benefiting. So then we're like, okay, let's just have it
Sure.
and invite more of our friends on this chat. So we wanted to go with the theme of Diwali a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. We were gonna talk about the lamps.
Oh yeah, in the lamps and painting with black tea.
Yeah.
Because painting with chai tea would be a little messy and it wouldn't be as colorful. So what I did was I took 2 bags of black tea and I steeped it the other day. And I wish I added less water than I did before, but let's see what happens. So I figured why not just doodle and stuff with the chai tea. And I also have pens because we're going to be talking about cool things in case you want to take notes or you want to doodle while you listen. And Chrissy also has this awesome food diary PDF, and just message one of us because I'll start a little email thing where if we add you to the list, you could download it. I just didn't get to that part yet.
It's okay. That's all right. And I didn't like the name Food Diary, so I kind of called it our daily check-in because sometimes we just need to take a moment and kind of check in with ourselves and see where we're at. Because sometimes we just get busy with everything we're doing. We kind of forget to take care of ourselves.
Yeah, I like that.
Have a reminder.
Yeah, it's more gentle to call it a check-in
Yeah,
instead of
that's kind of my feeling on it. I didn't like the name Food Diary. I was like, I don't really want to. I like talking about food, and I didn't want to talk about it there.
it's so
So,
true. That's that's so funny because that's how we are in our conversations too. If something feels really harsh, we just give it a different word for it. So it does it. Um, so yeah, and so with the lamp part, especially in India, the brightness, the light, represents all the goodness, all the thoughts, and how when we see it, we forget about the darkness. And sometimes I think when we get lonely or when we're on our own, what what is it that we reflect on? So that's something to keep in mind as we start talking about this and start doodling. And if you want to keep talking, you can. I'm gonna adjust my camera now.
All right. So one of the things we're going to be doing today is I'm going to be showing you guys how to make the chai or the marsala. Amee was telling me the other day the difference between the two, which I actually didn't know. And the one doesn't have the black tea in it. The marsala is actually the spice mix, which is added to the tea, which I did not know. That I learned the other day. So we are going to actually make the marsala mix first. And so I always like to toast my spices in a pan. And so I'm just going to put the spices, and I'm going to do a large quantity because I love chai. And so I want to be able to make some when I just want some on the fly, and I don't necessarily want to like pull out all my spice cabinet. And if you knew me, you'd know like I have a whole corner that's just spices because I love spices so much. So we're going to actually make a big batch of the marsala, which requires a few ingredients, and you may not have all of them in your cabinet. If you live in the area and you need some extra cardamom pods or anything, I have plenty. Just ask me. So we're
Awesome.
adding some cardamom pods, and I know we had these last week when we did our golden milk as well. And so they're just little cardamom pods. They're really, really fragrant. They're very like, they've got like citrus notes to them too. A lot of Indian cooking, you'll find them like when they make the basmati rice, you'll usually see like cardamom pods that they just have floating in there. They don't actually take them out. So I'm just going to take some cardamom pods. I'm also going to be adding today some black peppercorns as well to the mixture. So I'm just going ahead and I'm just looking at my little sheet I have here. And so it's basically a 1/4 cup of each of the spices. So I've got the green cardamom pods. I also have the black peppercorns. And those are going to add a little bit of spice and kick to this. If you like spicy, this is definitely going to have that spice tone to it. This isn't normally necessarily a common ingredient, but fennel seeds is sometimes in there too. I like it because it's kind of more of a cooling effect to it. And so I've got some fennel seeds. And if you like licorice or anise flavored stuff, you'll really love fennel seeds. A lot of times in Indian restaurants, you will see that they have candied fennel seeds, which are coated in like colorful stuff. And I like those because they're really great if you have any sort of indigestion or anything. So they keep your like everything flowing really nicely. So I've just got those spices in there. I'm also going to be adding some dried ginger. A lot of times when you go to the Indian stores and stuff, you will see the ginger dried in slices. I just have some ginger powder here that I'm going to add, and I'm going to toast that too. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add that towards the end because I want to be able to toast the seed ones first. All right. So I need to make sure I'm not missing anything from our recipe. Oh, I am. So nutmeg, a lot of people aren't familiar with nutmeg other than like every now and then you'll find it in a cookie recipe. But I like to buy it whole because it retains more of its flavor that way. And so I'm just going to go ahead and I've got a microplane, and I'm going to be going ahead and I'm going to put some of the finely grated nutmeg into my pan.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it should be really good.
authentic.
And then we also have some cloves, and we're going to add a 1/4 cup of those as well. So I'm going to get these toasting, and I'm going to leave Amee to go ahead and show you guys how to paint with the black tea.
Yeah, so I had just taken a couple tea bags and I steeped them. It looks a lot darker here. And then I put it in a little fishy bowl thing right there. It looks like the fish is drinking
It does.
black
It does
tea,
look like
right? It was
it
so
almost looks like soy sauce and sesame oil in the one container. That's what it kind of looks like.
yeah, you're right. It does look like sesame oil. But I'm like, we we'll have to play with it to see how to get it darker another time. I probably just have to use a lot less water. And so, yeah, we just start painting. And so while we're painting, it's good to think about um the bright thoughts and our dim thoughts. Like what makes you feel good and what makes you um what's something that we can do to feel happier and to feel better. And today too, like with the check-in and stuff like that, stuff that we were talking about um were was how when we do things like when there's Chrissy likes to call it a cumulative health, right? Like the
Yes.
cumulative part.
Or,
Um,
it's kind of like compact interest when you're like investing money. It's the same thing, except you're doing it with your health instead of like money. But like health's even better than money because if you don't have your health, you really don't have anything. If we learn nothing from 2020.
yeah, definitely. That's so true. And it's like what I really, really love about her health check-in that we'd be happy to give you is like she brilliantly did it so visual that like you could do 1 glass, 2 glass. Why not even just make your own little diary right now with the watercolor? How many glasses you take a day? And so it all adds up versus like let's say in one day you have that much versus 1 glass, and then gauging back to okay, how am I feeling? And if we're feeling a little off or tired or something, then it would help you make a habit of seeing, okay, what did I eat today? What didn't I eat? And that that can really, really be helpful and play a role. Like at least that's what's happened with me on this health journey, because I wasn't always so healthy until circumstances made me be healthy. And oh,
We have a question about your paint. And they wanted to know in the comments whether you used cold brewed tea, and I think you just used regular tea bags, did you not?
so if you use tea bags specifically for cold brews, it would have, oh, that's good to know. I I brewed it the hot way. Um, so the other day I took a couple of them. I put the half a glass or so, I thought, and I put it in the tea bags. And then today I reboiled it. So I took two bags instead of one. So I think I should have used like less water. That was my thing, even like probably a fourth a cup of water in 2 tea bags versus um versus just 1 whole cup of
Yeah, but I
water.
think it's interesting though because like looking at the color compared to like last week's, it's
Yeah.
not too far off from the golden milk, like the turmeric. Like
Yeah.
it's a little bit duller, but I'm surprised with it being black tea that it's not so far off.
Yeah, right? Like it's a lot. It's tanner. Maybe one
Yeah.
day we'll do instant coffee or something. That one would have
Instant
to.
coffee would be fun. The other thing I've never tried before, but I've got the pits to do it, is avocado pits. Apparently you can tie dye with them.
Oh,
and it
really?
comes out pink, which I'm dying to try. I just haven't yet.
What?
So
Yeah, we're
yeah,
gonna have to play with
I've
that.
been saving them because I told one of my little girls for my cooking classes about it one day. She's like, "Let me know how it turns out." I'm like, "I will. I just need to do it." So I
Yeah,
will keep you posted on how that works.
yeah, that sounds good. Because maybe that's something we could do on,
Yeah, we can put it on our list.
yeah, during summer. Um, so yeah, let me pull up my little notes that
I'm
I
gonna jump in for a second, Ami.
yeah,
So the spaces for our marsala mix, they're ready to go. So like this, you could go ahead and you can leave it whole, or you could go ahead and grind it in a coffee grinder or a spice grinder. And because I want to have some chai this evening, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take 2 teaspoons of that spice mixture, and I'm gonna add that into a pot. So I've got my spices right inside the pot, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add 2 cups of water to this as well. So I've got the 2 teaspoons of the spice marsala mix, and then I have 2 cups of water. And I will probably only take a couple sips of this because I am gonna go ahead and put the black tea in there, and I can just save the rest for tomorrow. Not drink too much black tea before that. I'm
yeah.
gonna go ahead and add 2 teaspoons of black tea, and it's like the it's not the bag stuff. It's actually like you get it in the store. And this is what they used when I was on the truck, which I had never seen before. And it comes in like a big bag, so I've had it for probably longer than I should. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add that to there. And we also, when you're making fresh chai tea, you also want to make sure you're adding some fresh ginger as well. So I like to go ahead and use some fresh ginger, and you can either peel it with a spoon or you can do it just with a peeler. I'm just going to use my microplane that I did for my lovely nutmeg. I'm just going to put a little bit of that in there. Yeah, a little bit. It smells so good in here, you guys. I love ginger. It's so good for our digestive systems and everything. So I've got that in my pan right now. So I've got my ginger, I've got the other, and I like to add my sweetness at the end, whether I'm using maple or coconut sugar or honey. I'll use that at the end because I don't like to have it be cooked. And then I'm going to be adding a half a cup of milk, but I like to boil this for a good like 10 minutes beforehand. So we're going to put this back on the stove.
That sounds good. I made mine without the black tea. Because it'll keep me up all night.
I know, that's why I'm like, I'm only going to take a little sip because then I'll save it for the morning and it will be great on my drive tomorrow. So
Yeah, I also pulled up your awesome daily check-in on my iPad to show everybody. So this is what her check-in looks like. So you could just ask us and like, I really love her questions. Um, like what healthy fats did you eat today? Where did you get your protein today? What were ways you showed yourself love today? What were ways you nourished yourself off the plate? How was your sleep? How did you move your body today? Like all of this takes into account of your overall feelings and how you're doing. And so why don't we do an experiment where everybody checks in and does their thing, and next week we wanted to do something about like a harvest, and we'd go a little bit more in depth
a little,
about
yeah, a little bit deeper. And so like if you ask us for the check-in, the daily check-in, just even if you just do a couple days, it's kind of a nice just reflection on like where you're at. And I like it. One of the things I like about this one, not only the fact that like I was the one who put it together, but I've seen a lot of different like food diaries and different things. And one of the things I like about it is at the end, I also ask you one thing you want to do differently tomorrow than you did today. Just kind of, again, reflecting. And then what are 3 things you're grateful for? We're right in Thanksgiving month and like having a daily practice of gratitude, it totally changes the your tone of the day. If you start your day with being grateful for everything you have, you're going to bring that into everything you do. And I like to do the practice in the morning and in the evening so that way as I'm going to sleep, I'm also reflecting on like what wonderful things were brought into my life today. And it might be something very simple like, oh, the sun was out today. Because like this time of year, we have to be grateful for those kind of things because it's not always there. So
That's so true. Like that totally is so true. Like about the sun shining and the sun being there when it's not. And like it all kind of ties in. I feel like all these holidays happening from around the world is really, really interesting because everybody has their own message in their own different way, where it's like we pay attention to what feels good versus what doesn't, and like being positive about it and keeping our attention on it. Because sometimes, like, that monkey mind, like the first thing, like it,
it's terrible. It
yeah,
gets us in
right.
a lot of trouble, just like a monkey would.
Yeah, it's so true. Like, you'll be doing so good on accumulating all your health benefits, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it's going to be like, ah, you could skip today. And then you're like, okay, I'll skip today. And then you, and then you're wondering why you feel really weird and you forget that you skipped the health thing. I'm just speaking from experience. And
Yes, it is true though. I mean, like, and it's okay if we can't do everything every day. I think a
yeah,
lot of people will take that like, oh, I missed the gym on Monday, or they'll miss it on Wednesday, and they're like, why should I go the next day? You want to be doing something more days than you're not, is like the ultimate goal. But at the same time, we have to show ourselves compassion and our circumstances. And maybe if we have health issues, maybe we can't put that effort in. I know I personally found that within my life, there's been certain times where I'm fatigued and I can't put in the energy in the gym like I'd love to. And I have to remember, like, it's okay, Chrissy. Like, there will be a time and there is a season for that for you in your life. So,
yeah, definitely. That's so true. Like, I think sometimes, and we keep um talking about it because, like, I think we're we're really alike in that creative nature and that creative approaches. Like last week we talked about do less, and we always get locked into expecting an outcome, expecting a result. And like when we don't get it, we get really, really disappointed. And like with health, it's a marathon. It's like,
it's not a sprint.
yeah,
It's not a
yeah, definitely not a sprint. And it's like brushing your teeth. Like, you don't know how bad not brushing your teeth is till um, something happens. Like, it's just like a maintenance thing, or going to the mechanic and a car, um, just maintaining ourselves. And when we start early, it just helps.
it does help a lot because a lot of the things that we're finding that ail us, they start very early in life. And they're finding more and more research to kind of back that up. And so it's like taking the time now is going to set you up for success in the future, and your future self is going to thank you for taking the time to go for that walk or have that extra glass of water or eating that green vegetable today. Like, I mean, ultimately those things, just like we talked before, we can't harp on it enough, is just that accumulative effect of like
Yeah,
compounding that over and over again each and every day. And that can go the opposite way too. Is if you're doing all these things that you know like are bad for your body, like those are gonna also cumulatively collect over time, and they're gonna cause problems later in life. So
Yeah, that makes total sense. And it totally does. Like, I feel like that's what happened to me. Um, I was raised vegetarian. It's just that my parents were so busy, which makes sense, working hard into um, immigrant parents. And I'd get all the snacky snacks, all the donuts and all the things, and it like really, really impacted my gut bacteria, where it sort of added up that like for a few years, there's a point where I really couldn't eat anything. And um, so, and until I had to like actually pay attention and um, do these things that we're talking about. I
guys,
hope.
it smells so good in here. I know I was told I was smelling things last time on the video, but I love to smell things on the videos and just in life in general. Cooking is all about the senses and the smells and the touches. It's all about our senses, you guys. So I've got my marsala chai mix that I have here that's been boiling and everything. And just for the purposes of today, I'm not going to boil it quite as long as I normally would, but I have a little strainer that I like to pour it through. I could also put all the spices and everything into like a reusable tea bag, but I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to strain this out. And the stronger you want the flavors, the longer you're going to go ahead and you're going to boil it. So my cup's very, very full. So let me go ahead and pour a little bit of it back in the pot because I want to be able to add, I have my coconut milk here, which is going to cool it down. So hopefully I can drink it on this video because some people told me last time that I didn't drink the golden milk. So I want to be able to at least drink a couple sips of this today. So I'm going to add, oh, it's so pretty, you guys. It's that beautiful color I love of chai.
I
So
love it too.
nice, beautiful color, you guys. It's still very steamy, so I'm going to add some more coconut milk to it. And the amount of milk you add is totally your preference. With me trying to go to bed here in the next little like hour or two, like I definitely don't want there to be too much black tea in there, which is also why I didn't boil it too much.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add some sweetener to this. I was gonna do honey, but I think I actually want to add some of my coconut because
You know,
you will read that ultimately most people don't add honey, like it's supposed to be very taboo. So we'll add our coconut sugar in there instead, which is really
yeah.
good for our blood sugar anyway. So we'll do that. So, all right, that's a beautiful painting.
Aw, thank you. We're just chit-chatting and just
It's like
watercoloring.
it's a lovely lotus flower, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. I just paint, I think lotuses, like even when I'm doodling, it just comes out naturally for me with the little flowers. And the interesting part when we watercolor with anything, um, it's not like acrylic where you could paint white after or like paint a lighter color. You kind of have to keep an eye out and sort of carve it out for when you'd see it. And so with it
Yeah.
too, just like the lightness and the brightness. And so the way I see it is if we're really, really, if we feel really, really dark, the happier we get, um, the brighter we become. And like, I think we're trying to be mindful so we don't give away and overwhelm everybody with like everything that we could talk about at
Yeah,
once
I
today.
mean, ultimately, there are so many different little nuggets we could share with you guys, but we learn best by like a little bit at a time, a nice little trickle of information. I think that's why we find the internet and social media is sometimes very overwhelming. I don't know about you, but I definitely do. I feel like I'm this sponge and I'm trying to absorb everything, and it's like no, I can't do this.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
definitely. So like we thought maybe this week, um, getting the little check-in sheet to help us see how we're doing and what we're doing. And then and then next week you could be more um involved in your own process, in your own thing. So we're just sharing tips. We don't feel like being really teachery about it. And if
yeah.
you, and even if you are, because we have a lot of friends that are health fanatics and health friends who know a lot about health. So feel free to share any of your tips and what you know too, because we love learning and we're just creating a little community. Oh, I have a question because I have friends like Finn who live in the city and he's in college. And so, um, what what kind of tips would you have in like um food prep maybe or
Oh, I've always wanted to do, so if anybody knows anybody who needs this, I've always wanted to do like a college prep like cooking class on how to cook in your dorm. My biggest tip would be to get a rice cooker because they are awesome. They're like a one shop like little thing, and they're like you can get a good decent rice cooker for like 15, $20, and they take up next to no space. And it's great because you can cook quinoa, you can cook rice in them, and then they have usually have a top section where you have like a steam thing where you can do all the vegetables and stuff too. So
that's cool. That's awesome. So it's like especially when you're busy doing your schoolwork like
electric
you're supposed
skillets are
to.
also a great thing. Electric skillets are amazing. I have an electric wok, which I love. There's so many things, so
That
many. So yeah, Ben, if you need any advice on cooking and prep in your small space, I got you covered.
that's awesome. Hi, Lauren. Um, so yeah, I guess we're finishing up a
Yeah.
little
Well,
bit, right?
cheers, you guys. I got to drink another tea with you, and I actually got to drink it this time with you instead of just trying to blow on it. Like I made it the right temperature this time.
Aw, that's awesome. Let me flip around the camera to say hi or bye or hold on. Let's see. Ah, here I
Again.
am. It's like playing peekaboo. Um, but yeah, so I guess this week, friends, um, ask for the daily check-in if you didn't get it yet. Kind of keep tabs on how you're doing. Don't feel bad if you miss anything or not. We're just observing and
Yes.
watching how we're doing things. And then that way, whatever we say or whatever we share next, it'll help you out. And when you have more questions, you could
We'll
literally
be
ask anything. So,
Yeah, we'll
yeah.
be here to help you and guide you. And the other thing I want to say is, as we're getting ready for Thanksgiving, ultimately it does have the little gratitude practice at the bottom of the page. So it's just kind of getting us ready for those questions. I know at our Thanksgiving we usually go, "What are you grateful for?" And everybody kind of like has this moment where they like don't know what to say, and then they say like the standard things that like, "Oh, I'm thankful for blah 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 blah." But it's like, let's go a little deeper this year. And I got a little flack last year for that. So, but let's dig a little deeper. And so, yeah, till next time, you guys. Cheers.
Yeah, definitely. Like that's why I love Chrissy. We're not really small talk, coffee talk people. We just kind of get in there.
Let's dive in.
We dive in. So thank you for diving in with us. So yeah, just message us and we'll send you the thing. Love you
Yep.
guys. Thank you guys for
See you next
supporting us.
week.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.
Bye.